Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Summer's almost here. Yay, right? So, when's the last time you tried on your swimsuits and summer clothes? If you could get back into summer shape in one visit, would you do it? Here's Dr. Brian Strand for Sonobello to explain.
It really is quite remarkable. Sonobello doctors use a technology called microlaser fat removal, and the results are amazing. We customize your procedure to accomplish your goals. Just share with us the problem areas where you'd like the fat in inches removed. And in one visit, they're gone permanently. I can't tell you how often I hear clients say how many years they've been trying to diet and exercise those inches away. And we did it in one comfortable visit.
It's time to get your summer on. Visit any of our Sonobello locations across the U.S. and right now you can save $250. Visit sonobello.com/save. Sonobello.com/save. That's sonobello.com/save.
Listen up, people. Your first bet with Caesar Sportsbook is risk-free, up to $1,100. Download the app and use promo code RADIOCZR and then place your first bet. If you win, congrats. But if not, you'll get your wager back as a free bet. Must be 21 and physically present in New Jersey. New users only. Bet amount of qualifying wager returned only if wager is settled as a loss. Paid as a single bet credit. Must be used within 14 days. See Caesar.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Caesar Sportsbook. Download it.
The dark web can be like a restaurant for identity thieves.
Hi, ready to order?
I'll have the driver's license number.
Great, that comes with a home address or a birth date.
Ooh, both, please.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year at LifeLock.com/aware. Identity theft protection starts here.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Gen Exhausted. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm Earl.
I'm Jess.
We're rocking. All right, so.
Well, no, I was just saying, we got the whole crew here, and the band that Slipknot paid the bills for until they could get a record deal.
Right? Stone Sour.
AKA Stone Sour, yeah.
Yeah, I was telling you guys in the pre-show chat, like 20 years ago when Stone Sour came out, I was like, yes, I'll listen to this versus Slipknot. And now it's 20 plus years later, and I'll take Slipknot. Give me Slipknot, what is it, Subliminal Verses? Yeah, I'll listen to Slipknot over Stone Sour any day.
Now, I'm not super familiar with Slipknot. I know their hits, and I know their ballads. I know.
So that doesn't have any ballads. There's like zero. There is zero Slipknot ballads.
I'm sure I'm not using that term. I mean, like, they're slower songs. Snuff.
Okay, again, there are no. Hold on, let me.
Snuff was a very slow song.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that dude. Seriously, that's like, I think, an acoustic guitar and him most of the fucking song. I even when I first heard it, was like, no, you got to be wrong. That's got to be Stone Sour. That's not Slipknot. And they're like, no, that's Slipknot. I'm like, that sounds like Stone Sour.
You know what? You're right, because I just looking it up here. I literally always thought that was a Stone Sour song until right now. Like, you guys have all just taught me something, and YouTube music.
See, off-white cis male. Shut up, and let the minorities teach you something. Sit down, take many seats. I don't know how I'm a minority, but I'll figure it out. I'm something.
You're male.
Somehow.
You're only 49% of the population.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about that.
Wait, shit. Am I not a minority?
No, you're 51% of the population, lady.
You're a female. You're the majority minority victims.
Oh.
Remember, everywhere you go, you're victims. You can't help it. You're just that stupid.
Yeah.
As a gender, From the beginning of time until now, you just find yourself in pure fuckery because you're just that stupid.
Yep. You don't know how to say no to anything. You're not an independent being.
Nope. No autonomy. No independent thought.
And if you say no, we force you to do it anyway.
Yep. Like this podcast. You said no every week, yet you keep coming back.
You're right.
Because we tell you to.
Pushing you back in.
But yeah, so good times. All right, starting off well, on brand.
Right.
Offending the people who needed to be offended. All right.
Yeah.
Getting our hate listeners dandruff up.
Yeah.
I hate listeners.
If this is your first week, we started off right away with what you can expect. We give no shits. We're beholden to no one.
You know, truly though, like I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about Carrie Smith, I think is her name. Deprogrammed is the name of her podcast. And she used to work with Chris Rock, producing. Remember Kamau Bell had that Comedy Central show in the 2010s. Her and Chris Rock were the producers for that show. And so she's been ingrained in the Hollywood thing, and she's like, you know, up until about 2016, she goes, I had my head firmly up my ass and was like full on drinking the woke Kool-Aid, like full on woke flake. And around 2016, she started pulling, you know, started looking around going, wait a minute, y'all are saying the sky's falling. The sky ain't falling. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like she woke up to it. And I forgot where I was going with that. God damn it. Sorry. Oh,
it was about how we had no.
Anyways, she was talking about comedy, and she said that we need to normalize comedy that punches in all directions again, where everybody's a fucking target, where nobody's fucking safe. And one of her episodes that she recently did, this might not have been Deprogrammed, this might have been her other podcast, which is it's more about like the pop culture stuff. She was talking about In Living Color. And I mean, like, I know at least 3 of us remember that from growing up. And how in that show,
hated it.
Yeah, in that show, everybody got it.
Oh,
everybody got it.
They gave no. And what happened to the Wayans? Are they just old and retired now?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, they're just directing stupid slapstick comedy movies.
Wait,
no, we're talking about
the youngest brothers.
No, we're not talking about
and
Sean and Marlon. We're talking about Damon and Keenan Ivory. Like the
I don't know where
Keenan Ivory's collecting fucking Social Security. That motherfucker's got to be like in his mid-60s now. And Damon Wayans, his kid, is he's in movies and does stand-up comedy. Like he's a comedian who's got his own career. People are like, your father's famous, which makes me feel old as fuck.
Damon Wayans is one of the only SNL cast members to be fired like after a show. Like he went like off script and like pissed off Lorne Michaels and was like after the Good Nights and all that, it was like, hey, by the way, you're fired. Like what I've always liked about Damon Wayans is he is given no fucks and just done his shit.
Well, and you know who fucking loved him for it and didn't give a fuck and was like, I'll invent a fucking role if I ever get a chance to do a movie and I get any power. Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop. He's who he gets the banana and when he sticks it in the cop's tailpipe, he gets it from Damon Wayans. And he was playing like basically a proto version of the Men on Film, like, yeah, big and oily men.
Yeah.
Men on Football.
Well, I bet if Living Color came out, if In Living Color came out today, they'd be getting so much shit because they didn't give a fuck. Like you just said, nobody was off limits within Living Color.
Whoa, Chris, you're right. They didn't, but they wouldn't get any shit. They'd get a whole bunch of praise. They should re-release that. No, they're black, bro. That doesn't apply to them.
No, because Men on Film, they could not do Men on Film today. No fucking way. Doesn't matter what color you are. Come on, Chappelle has proven it fucking 9 times in the last 5 years. You can't make fun of the alphabet people, and Men on Film makes fun of the alphabet people like a motherfucker.
No, I think that's the sticking point. I mean, we forget the bullshit that, like, Fire Marshal Bob. He one of the biggest. Bill, excuse me, Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah, I'm thinking Sideshow Bob. I'm getting my early '90s shows mixed up.
Wrong Fox property.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, between 1990 and right now, and trying to remember between those two periods, there's a lot of malted hops and bong resin. You know what I'm saying? So,
ditto.
But the Firemen's Union was the biggest protest against In Living Color because of Fire Marshal Bill. And here's something that I never even realized until they were talking about it. The reason they were protesting it is because he was a burned fire marshal, so he was bad at his job.
Yes.
And I'm like, what? I never thought, I never went, oh, he's a fire marshal, he's all burned up, so he's bad at his job. I thought he was a fucking firebug who wormed his way into the fire department and was a weirdo about fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see it as like firemen are incompetent.
Right.
But this was 32 years ago, and this is what people were clutching their pearls about.
And I guess what I'm saying,
how much has really changed?
Well,
it's just who's offended has changed. Right?
Yes, exactly. What I'm saying is David Alan Grier and Damon Wayans are not gay, and they'd be playing gay guys. There would be so much uproar. And they're also doing send ups, right? They're doing it all tropes. You know, like Damon Wayans had like the little hat on sideways.
Yes. And then a couple years, 5 years later, Oz premieres on HBO, and Adebisi, one of the most violent, sociopathic, rapist, murderers on the show, in a show about a men's prison full of those type of people. He's the worst. He's got the hat the same way.
I also don't.
I miss Homie the Clown.
Well, yes, Homie could still happen, but I don't think the Homeboy Shopping Network could happen either.
No, Homeboy Shopping Network. No, Homie the Clown. Here's Homie the Clown could come back. Homie the Clown couldn't hit kids with a homie sock.
It's true.
Or actors playing.
Or no, he couldn't hit anybody. Period. He'd be advocating violence.
Yeah.
Even though it was a sock. And who amongst us didn't hit somebody with a sock in the early 90s and say, "Homie, don't play that."
But
exactly, we all did.
Exactly.
At some point.
Yeah.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about. None.
Yeah, you don't remember In Living Color at all.
She was like 4.
I had to look it up to even know like the cast you were talking about.
Dude, she was kindergarten age on that.
Yeah, she was a kid. No, she was a kid, but it's like you were like channel flipping age when that shit was in reruns on cable. So I guess it all depends on how much cable did you have cable? How much TV did you watch?
Rich,
when you were
I
like
was
10, 13?
I was barely in middle school when In Living Color first came out. Just to give you
that first season, I was finishing up my last year of middle school, and
then that means
the start of the second season, I was starting my first year of high school.
Well, then that means I was like in like 6th grade when that first season came out. So yeah, I mean like. Yeah, she was.
I was 3.
She was a tiny child.
No, I get it. I figured it because I know it was on cable on reruns. Because and it would be around like 2000, so that'd put you around like 13, 14, maybe a little bit younger. Maybe it was like 98, 99.
J-Lo back when she was all natural.
But see, here's my question.
Before she got her permanent tan, as they pointed out on the podcast I'm talking about, which I was like, Oh, that's a good point. Because she's pale as fuck.
Here's my question, though. How did we go from watching that to saying it's just funny, it's just silly fun, it doesn't mean nothing, to people getting so fucking bent by something like that? By less than that, even.
I got a one-word answer for you, my friend. Internet. Because when In Living Color first came out, like, only rich people had the internet.
I just don't get it.
No, it's social media, man. It's internet. It's everyone being connected to bitch to each other and finding your groups that like to bitch about the same things. And now everyone goes from forums, they're little mobs, and they find their little echo chamber. I mean, it's well-worn carpet on this show, and the show before it, and the show that we all did before this one. Dude, I'm telling you, the internet is going to go down as like the best and worst invention for all humankind.
Oh, it's the worst. It's not the best by any stretch.
Oh, no, it's done many things that we all love. You know how you can, like, open your phone and, like, have anything brought to you now? From, like, food to pussy? Yeah.
Yep.
I'd say that's a positive thing.
Yeah.
Your phone apps must be wild.
I mean, there's a lot of shit legal, and I'm just saying, Windsor is just a stone's throw across the lake.
Yeah, I mean, dude, bro, I could sit here right now and while we're talking, like, bet on a parlay. Like, yeah, dude, the internet, like I said, it is.
Dude, if it wasn't past 9 o'clock, you could order weed for delivery to your house.
Yeah.
You could order a fucking an escort to spend time with. A date, not sex. And you could have fucking food. I mean, yeah, dude. Yeah. All of it. Why? Because of the internet. That's
the best and worst invention.
I'm with you, Earl. There's a lot of bad that comes out of it, but the internet is like amoral. The internet it exists outside of morality.
Rich has no job right now without the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how Rich makes his money.
Shit. Couple of friends we have who make big bucks have no career without an internet. All right. I'm thinking of one who might be homeless with how many kids he's got. You thought of him too. I heard the laugh. So I get it, dude. I understand. But you got to resist that urge to be like blanket. Fucking sucks. No, everything doesn't suck.
No, I'm saying, man, I get it. I would do personally, just me. I would do without the benefits of it to take away all the negative that it has brought. That's all I'm saying.
Really, man? Like, the right time of day, you could get an ice cream sundae and a hooker all within the same hour at your door.
All right, never mind. I love the internet. You had me at ice cream sundae.
Just saying, man.
Can I get a hooker stuffed with an ice cream sandwich delivered to my door? That's the important. I can't. Fuck the internet. Like I said, fuck it.
Well, actually, I think the way the laws are, you would have to get them delivered separately and then consenting adults.
Hey, I gotta ask, Earl, what did like your uncle die and leave you his porn collection? Like you are swinging for the fences to like cancel the internet tonight. Like
I'm kind of on Earl's side though. Like I like it in theory, and I know that in practice it would be very, very different, like to not have the internet. But I think that, I don't know, I think if I had the choice, I would end up choosing no internet.
I don't know, kids. All right. Let's get in the time machine. Let's go back 20. Oh, no, I believe let's go back.
No, you really want to go back. You got to go back for Windows 95.
No, I want to go back 18 years to 2004. You know what I'm all about talking about. All right. The big old blackout. All right, in 2004, we were all mildly inconvenienced for a couple days. If that shit happened right now,
people would lose their fucking mind.
Like the parlay I'd be talking about, I'd be going on the same site to bet how long it would take to descend into Mad Max times.
But see, okay, and here's my point. That is the low-hanging fruit to take if you're going for an easy comedic, layup, finger roll off the glass, can't miss. But in reality, once the jokes are done, that's not what happens most of the time. It usually takes other bullshit for that to happen, because during the blackout in 2000, it was 2003, by the way, during that blackout,
all right, 19 years.
I remember clear as day. We've talked about this before. We've talked about this every time the blackouts come up, and how Detroit was like, they were like, reported rioting in the streets of Detroit. And it's like, no, the fuck there wasn't. Kwame was standing in fucking like the east side war zone, and he's like, where's the rioting?
I get that. I understand that, Rich, but that was all pre-smartphone. That was before the smartphone. Dude, the smartphone didn't just change the American society, it changed the world society. I guess that's what I'm getting at. That we don't realize how many things now are tied to our phones versus in 2003.
No, I get it. I'm just from my experience as a teacher, dude, when I'm telling kids what about history and shit, and they're looking it up on Google and going, nah, I'm like, okay.
First of all, what the fuck is going on that any school district is allowing kids to keep their fucking cell phones on them and whip it out in class?
I'll tell you why.
To fucking argue with a teacher.
I will tell you exactly why, because I used to have to deal with it. Trust me, when smartphones first burst on the scene, I was supervising people and they had to deal with it. Here's how you get around it. They're minors. What if their parents need to get a hold of them? It's done. Over. That
Then they call the office like they did for fucking decades upon decades upon decades.
Not in the age of fucking lawnmower and helicopter parents, sir.
Wasn't it also in response to school shootings that they wanted kids to be able to text their parents, or if their parents heard about something?
I want to be able to get a hold of my child in case there's a blank at their school.
And of course, kids they're like, this is music to our ears. Yeah. Oh yeah. Please fight for us to keep our fucking massive distractions from fucking learning anything in our hands and in our pockets with impunity. Oh yeah.
No, because trust me, I fought this battle. You can tell them not to. You can tell them not to use their phone all you want, but the bridge you can't cross, you can't take it from them. Like that's you take a kid's phone from them. Like that's what lawyers can start getting involved. Well, welcome to our new society.
I mean, not just that. They also, I'm like, that's it. I'm calling your parents when the day's over, and they're like, "Which one?" I'll call them right now.
Well, because the other thing too is, remember, Rich, when we had your boy on, the paradigm has shifted. It used to be. I mean, when we were growing up, all of us, right? Well, maybe not you, Jess, but I know the three of us. School called the parents. Parents would be like, "Yeah, do what the fuck you got to do. Tell them to stop being a fucking asshole." Now, oh no, now it's. My kid didn't do this. You're accusing my kid of this? Oh no, not my
perfect little precious little innocent.
Yeah, the attitudes have changed with the parents.
Here's the thing. If this is how public schools are, and this is how powerless public schools are, and this is coming from a former teacher, this is coming from someone who used to have to, and believe me, I worked with the same age group. I get it. I understand. All right. You know what? You're making all the fucking people's points who want like school choice and school vouchers and et cetera, et cetera.
Good.
Because this is horse shit. Okay. No one's going to apologize. Call the fucking office. They will send someone down to get princess or princess. They're both princesses. It doesn't fucking matter, boy or girl.
Right.
Okay. Doesn't fucking matter. Okay. The point is, your fucking little pudding person will be got and fucking relate any message. You will be fine. I mean, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. First of all, what are you giving a kid a smartphone for before at the age of 13? Most apps in most states, I think all states in this fucking country, you can't fucking sign up for legally unless you're 13. Now, we all know how much that's fucking followed, but still.
My 18-year-old nephew's had a Facebook account since he's been like 10.
I said 13. I didn't say 18.
No.
So I'm just like, oh, okay.
No, but he had it since he was 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's had it since 3 years before he was supposed to have it.
Yeah.
I know 9-year-olds who have TikToks.
TikToks? Yeah. What the fuck?
Right.
You know what? I just, you know what? I don't care. It is impossible.
16-year-olds have fucking OnlyFans and shit.
No, dude, I can't, because you cannot talk to these fucking people, because these are the type of people. The bottom line is they don't want to take responsibility and be a parent. They want to be a friend. They want to be a buddy. They want to play favorites. I don't know what whatever their fucking problems are, they need to talk to a professional about instead of fucking having children and filling them full of their bullshit. No, that's too much like work to actually work on myself. So I'll just keep fucking popping out little miracles and fill the trailer park full of them. Yeah, that's great. And let them do whatever the fuck they want.
My little tax break.
I mean, Jesus Christ, folks. At a certain point, you can't talk to these people. Case in point. Well, they're 18. We need to forgive college debt because kids are 18 and they don't know what they're signing. Okay, so 18, they're incapable of signing a legal document that says they're going to have to pay back money that they're going to get a loan to go to college for, right? Right. So I guess that means you don't want them to sign up for the military at 18. Right. Okay. What age? Well, science says their brain doesn't stop developing until 25. Okay.
Okay, well then.
Okay,
fuck
cool.
For
Guess
telling...
what? You can't have sex till 25. You can't fucking get married till 25. You can't fucking and
Then
fuck your choosing your gender. If they can't fucking sign a goddamn piece of paper at 21 years old to join the military or go to fucking college on a goddamn student loan, then I'm not going to listen to your 4-year-old fuck trophy tell me what fucking imaginary gender it is.
Exactly. I don't know which one of you sent a meme a few weeks ago, but it's dead on. It's like, which one is it? An 18-year-old doesn't understand a loan, or a 7-year-old can pick their gender? Which one is it?
I don't know.
No, it's exactly.
It's ridiculous.
It's exactly. It's pointing out the flaw in the logic.
Well, and this is the
I
same
took
side
out
also that was
several student loans. Each time I took out a student loan, I had to sign a bunch of papers that said, like, hey, you know what you're signing, you know what you're agreeing to, right? And I recall each time having to watch a couple videos. It was part of it because they were federal loans. That pretty much the point of the videos were, hey, you understand, this is a loan, here's what this means. Pretty much.
But that was before smartphones, and now they can't take away their smartphones because that's a violation of their fucking human rights, and they're going to call the ACLU, and they're going to come down with the god of fucking thunder on your ass if you take your stuff. So they can just, yeah, sure, put in your video. I don't care. I got my cell phone. You think they pay attention to this shit? That's like a training video, bro.
Well, on the same side also that's saying that they should be able to not have to pay back their loans because they were too young to understand, or the same side saying that we should lower the voting age to 16.
Oh, that's another thing. Boy, just fucking admit. You just want to stack the deck in your favor.
Yep.
Just admit that you will, by hook or by crook, by fair or foul, you want to stack the deck in your favor. And you know what? Then we all know what game where everybody's playing. And we can all be honest about how much of a piece of shit we're willing to get down to be to win. Because that's really what this is. This is a race to the bottom is what this shit is. Like, the only people that are going to lose are people who are going to have to live in this fucking society over the next 100 years.
I always thought people did this, and the huge shift came because it was so beneficial to have kids financially. You get so many tax breaks, so much money back, so much assistance and shit, that it was actually a good thing to have kids. Now, the bad part is when they turn out to be fucking bad kids. Well, now with all of the new laws and shit, it's very easy. You know, we've just said it numerous times on this very show today, that if you take this away or you do that, that you're going to get the wrath of God on you.
Dude.
So it like excuses bad parenting. You know what I'm saying? So now everybody's just turned a blind eye because at one time or another, you were caught in the same situation, and you're like, okay, so if we put it this way, we're going to be free and clear, and I still get all the money, and I still get all the benefits. Oh, hell yeah, let's do that.
Here's what I don't understand, and I know it's a bit I've been doing for years, and it's only half a bit, because I'm only half joking whenever I say this. Why don't you get tax breaks for not having children? Why don't you get tax breaks for not putting an additional drain on society?
Please.
Why don't I get money back for paying for schools every year I don't fucking use?
That's a good point.
For real.
Because once you start down that road, you're going to eventually start asking questions like, why are we ignoring our own citizens' needs to subsidize other countries via our military so their fucking citizens can have fucking cradle-to-grave health care, et cetera, et cetera? But they don't put up jack nor shit for anything. Not NATO, not the UN, nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, the UK going to throw their little fucking... They're like the trophy wife that does nails part-time on the side, is married to a billionaire. Talking about, here's my little 250 I made this week. That's nice, sweetheart. That's cute. Shut the fuck up and look pretty, bitch. That's all you're here for.
Hey, and I'll put on the Fox News hat, all right? Why are babies of illegal immigrants able to get baby formula right now when our own citizens' babies can't get baby formula right now?
I do not have any answer for that.
Well,
today Biden enacted the Defense Production Act, something that hasn't been enacted since 2 years ago for masks. He enacted it today for baby formula. Yet again, down at the border, plenty of non-citizen babies are able to get formula. Well, meanwhile, there's people doing citizens doing all kinds of crazy shit in our own country to feed their babies.
I don't know how valid the videos I've seen are, but I've seen a handful of videos of people claiming to be in Mexico. The stores they're in, all the signs are in Spanish. I didn't see any in English. So, I mean, that's it. You know what I'm saying? If that's some like fucking deep fake fucking Photoshop shit, that's going the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? Disney needs to hire somebody who did these videos. But I mean, there's just pallets upon pallets upon pallets upon pallets, cases upon cases upon cases, stacked up, 3, 4. I mean, we're talking Costco type fucking building full of fucking formula. And I'm going, well, how is... Like, I need more context around it, but, like, if that is what is waiting on the other side of the border of fucking, like, from Texas to Mexico, why is that? What's going on in our country where we can't get formula fucking taken care of? Oh, and by the way, people who are actually going and getting formula from other countries are finding just how shitty our formula is in this country. That's fun. People are finding out how much garbage is put in there and allowed in there that's not allowed in fucking formulas that other countries allow their fucking citizens to use.
Well,
that's a lot of our food.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would say go ahead and breastfeed, but people lose their shit over that too.
Well,
I mean, okay, here's it. Okay,
I don't take a shit
in
a restaurant.
Take out the sub 1%, half of 1% of transgender people who, for whatever reason, can't breastfeed, whatever. Because that's the go-to excuse I hear. And I'm like, that is literally half of a percentage point. Stop. That's not a reason to change everything. That's not. Okay? That's a reason to make a set aside. Okay, we understand. But there are gay couples who do adopt, both men. Kind of hard to feed a baby titty milk if you ain't got anything that produces titty milk.
Well, and there's just babies who don't like it or are allergic to it. From what I've been told, apparently,
there's workarounds. There's workarounds with you're not allergic to the breast milk. You're allergic to something that the mom is eating. Both of my kids were milk protein intolerant, and they weren't nice enough just to be milk protein intolerant. They were also soy protein intolerant. So with my oldest, he ended up being on formula after about 8 months. So just the last 4 months. With my youngest, I was able to cut all of that out of my diet, and he was able to nurse completely fine. But dear God, it's a chore, and it was hard to figure out what all has milk protein and what all has soy protein.
I swear to
it's
God,
in everything.
I swear to God, I love it. You're so hardcore that you produce based children. They're like, we don't even tolerate, our bodies don't even tolerate soy. Get that soy cuck shit away from me, motherfucker.
That's
I
like
wanna
Lewis
stay
Black.
right
Get your
now.
fucking soy milk away from my moo cow fuck milk.
Well, that's the problem though, is that people are just told, these women are just told, no, your baby's allergic to your breast milk, and they're not offered an alternative. That's what my first pediatrician told me with my oldest. She's like, no, like, you just shouldn't breastfeed. And it took me researching it. It took me figuring it out. And I was young when I had him. And I had everyone telling me, like, no, the doctor said you need to just switch over to formula. But we didn't have enough money for formula. Formula's fucking expensive on its own. So we're sitting and we're, trying to come up with this. And I talked to my doctor about what if I cut out milk protein? And they're like, oh, no, that would take too long. It would take up to 2 months for it to even clear out of your milk. So just go to formula, just switch over to formula. But I decided to try it, and he was better within about a week, done with the crying and the gas and all of that. So it's a huge lack of education and a huge push for formula. And it's very frustrating because once you haven't nursed for so long, then you can't anymore. You stop producing milk. So if you have a doctor that tells you, no, you just go to formula, and then there's a formula shortage, you're not getting it back.
Yeah, you're not unringing that bell. So, yeah, absolutely. And that's what he said. I want the Vietnamese.
No, I only drink the finest Cambodian breast milk.
Cambodian breast milk. Yeah. To find a Cambodian immigrant and get her breast milks.
And a picture of a midget holding these balloons.
Yes. Oh God. Oh, Dave Chappelle. Oh, thank God for him.
Well, no, it's interesting you hear that say that, because I also, as a baby, I wanted nothing to do with titty milk, and as soon as they gave me formula, I couldn't get enough.
Really?
So yeah, it just makes me apparently there was concern that I wasn't eating.
You know what that meant? I'd have looked at you and been like, I should drown this thing. This thing's going to grow up. This thing's going to grow up liking a taste of Velveeta over real cheese.
Right?
This thing's all fucked up.
Like, just right on processed food immediately.
Like, I would hold you underwater and stare your mother in her eyes and be like, this is because of you. This is your side of the family that did this. Look at this. No one in my family eats Velveeta or eats Miracle Whip. This is your doing.
I can't believe it's not butter my ass. Get under.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes.
For the record,
Margarine did this.
For the record, I hate Velveeta. If you're gonna eat cheese. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and when I was a kid, it was like, I didn't realize. I was like, wait a minute. Like, little kid, I didn't realize it. Oh, it looks like cheese, right? And then I was eventually like, wait a minute. What's cheese product mean? And I got the answer, and I was like, and you've been letting me eat this? I'm pissed.
The fact that government cheese is an upgrade should just be the indicator.
The cheese was the best grilled cheese.
Wasn't government cheese just Velveeta in a different wrapper?
No, it was a little bit different. It was actual cheese, but anyways, we don't need
to. So better quality than Velveeta.
is very processed though. Yeah, it's like, let's put it this way: Velveeta's like one step up from Spam, but Spam's like one step up from Soylent Green. So I mean, it's like we're not doing much better. We're not eating other humans, but we're not eating much better on the food chain.
Now, Steve, we're sitting here talking about the formula and how schools have changed, and then you wonder how something like Buffalo could happen.
I don't wonder.
I know.
Yeah, first of all, I heard his name one time, and I refused to learn any more of these motherfuckers' names. But I just remember his name. Like, I heard it, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That sounds about right.
Okay, so I still know very little about this. I read the one article that was sent to the group, and that's all the diving I've done. So
Rich and I saw the video.
Well, I wanted to see, because I was hearing various reports on a video, and I was like, is it different videos? Is some of the security footage that somehow got leaked? And when it was like, hold on. And then it was like, no, these are people all saying different things from watching the same video. And I said, okay, fuck it. It's distasteful, but I want to see the video. One, I want to see if it's real.
Oh,
Two,
he was on Twitch for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a GoPro on a helmet. That's all it is.
It looks like a video game, though.
What's kind of the point? I mean, it's
I know we're 8 years into this. I still dude, I'm not into snuff films, man. I know they died. I don't have to see it.
I was with Rich. I wanted to see what exactly, if it was real, what happened. Is the guy insane? He was fucking stupidly insane.
Well, yeah, okay, thank you, Earl, because I would like to talk about that, because the whole sexy part of the headline is, he was a white supremacist and this and that, and dude, if you do a deep dive on the guy, he's nuts. He posted on Facebook he was going to shoot his school up.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nut job.
And his supposed manifesto, whatever, it bears more than a passing resemblance to the Christchurch shooters.
Yes.
Manifesto. And it's like, look, okay, that in and of itself is going to fucking launch 1,000 conspiracy theories. Just disregard those conspiracy theories for the moment. I know it's hard, but step out of the conspiracy theory bubble into the conspiracy free bubble for a second. It's just repeating shit that's been pumped into their fucking heads. That's all it is.
Internet.
I mean, the story goes, this kid, whatever, I don't know, he was a minor at the time, I guess, when it started. the beginning of COVID, lockdown, depressed, blah, 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 this and that, went online, started going, and of course it's like he went to 4chan and he went to, and like all the sites that they use to scare boomers who don't know anything about the fucking internet and shit. And it's like, he was radicalized. And it's like, yeah. And there's just as much crazy shit from the left on those sites as there is from the right.
Yeah. Did you see today?
It's called, it's just crazy people fucking talking on the internet. That's what 4chan is.
Did you see today, or it's today or yesterday, Pelosi says, oh, we're going to look into these platforms to see if there's any criminal charges we can face. And it was 4chan, 8chan, Twitch, and something else.
8chan doesn't even exist anymore. It's 8kun.
But I just found it funny that
Kun, I don't know how you pronounce it. .kun.
But I just found it peculiar that all of the platforms that she wanted to look into to face criminal charges, the big two weren't on there.
Well, no, and it's just okay. Remember what homeboy who drove his vehicle into a crowd of people in like Minnesota or some shit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he was some like militant black fucking nationalist and shit, and it was all over his Facebook and all that nonsense. There was no calls to fucking go after Facebook, to go after Twitter, whatever Instagram, fucking SoundCloud, whatever, because he was a rapper too. I'm surprised this Boston motherfucker ain't a rapper. Serious.
This current dude again posted on Facebook he was going to shoot up his school. But let's look into 4chan, 8chan, Twitch, and whatever the fuck else she said.
Meanwhile, I'm shadow banned on Facebook right now for memes that don't show any nudity, that aren't political, that aren't anything, that aren't like anti-woke. But I'm getting banned for stuff I posted almost a decade ago.
Bro, you get
on Facebook.
You get banned on Facebook more than anybody I know.
For shit that I posted almost double digits worth of years ago. Like, I'm not joking. The shit that they hit me with, and they're like, here's a 3-day ban. Here's a 24-hour ban. It's shit from like 5+ years ago. And I'm going, who the fuck is digging this up?
Bro, I got
algorithm.
In my groups, not in chat, not on the messenger, but on Facebook, I'm in groups like Ram truck groups and shit, car groups. I cannot post in a group. I am banned from posting in a group because they don't want suspicious activity or whatever. I'm like, this is a brand new account. My shit was hacked. I didn't do it, but they're banning me from posting because I was hacked.
Oh.
Rich has gotten banned for sending us things in our chat. In our chat. Not even publicly
I got banned
posted.
for shit I didn't even do. I had nothing to do with it other than a victim.
When we first started Unregimented, Rich sent us something in the chat and caught a ban.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Freedom is a feeling, and find out what true freedom feels like at Jeep Freedom Days, where right now, well-qualified returning FCA lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2022 Grand Cherokee WK Laredo E4x4 for $209 a month for 24 months with $5,739 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution at least through Chrysler Capital. Current lease must end by 5/31/23. Extra charge for miles over 20,000. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 5/31/22. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Dunkin' Refreshers are the perfect way to get a little more out of your day. With more tropical flavors like new mango pineapple and more ways to get glowing. Available with green tea, coconut milk, or lemonade. You've got what you need to make the most out of every moment, even the ones spent stuck in traffic. What a beautiful day. Sip into all your favorite Dunkin' Refreshers like new mango pineapple. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Additional charges may apply.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
But see, this is the thing. These people, once again, this is why I fill with hate and rage, and it's impotent hate and rage because nothing's going to be done about it because nobody actually gives a fuck because everybody wants the little dopamine hit of owning the libs or owning the cons or whatever the fuck. And so they're going to fucking pick these bullshit fucking issues. And the truth is, we don't do shit in this country for mental illness. And this is what happens when mental illness goes unchecked or swept under the fucking rug.
Damn right.
Yet, allegedly, I mean, it's the last 5 years, we care about nothing more than mental illness. Remember, you couldn't make fun of Meghan Markle?
Dude, that's
when you when you found out
yeah.
when you poked when you started poking through all of her bullshit and unraveling her fucking, sweater of lies. You couldn't do that because she was claiming mental illness. Like, that's what I don't understand. The last few years, aside from racism, mental illness is probably one of the things that we throw up there the most to victimize, to say that we're victims. And yet, yeah, like you said, it's go to actually treat it and fuck you.
And it's not just fuck you from a funding standpoint, a coverage for insurance standpoint. It's a fuck you from the patient standpoint, because patients these days don't want to hear you're going to have to change. You're going to have to take responsibility. You're going to have to stand up and make a decision and stand by it come hell or high water. And guess what? It's you and only you who's going to answer for the decisions you make.
Oh, accountability. We can't have
and you
that.
might as well, dude, the first thing that they fucking let you know when you go to like any type of fucking like anger management shit is nothing makes you angry. You make you angry. You can't tell that to now 2 generations of adults. You can't say those words in general to 2 generations now, because that you're attacking me. I feel attacked. Okay, well, you can feel any way you want. It doesn't make it fucking so, but that doesn't matter because our feelings don't care about facts anymore. And dude, we can't have the conversations that we need to have, which is parents, you got to be involved in your kid's life. You really fucking do. And I don't know if it's going to take a village to teach children that, hey, guess what? You don't know everything. Shut the fuck up. There's a reason that we don't put 15-year-olds in charge of fucking world empires, because you're young, you're dumb, and you still ejaculate in your sleep. Shut the fuck up. You don't know shit about shit. Instead, we let them dictate how the world's going to be fucking run to us.
There's a reason there's no 19-year-old CEOs. There's a reason you're not allowed to be president of the United States before you're 35 years old.
Real taking an active stand to do something real about mental illness is going to piss off everybody involved in it at one point or another. I don't think we as a country and as a society right now, I don't think we can handle that.
Hey, Congress, all these bullshit bills you passed that are like Ralphie Wiggum going, look at me, I'm helping. Hey, how about maybe, I don't know, maybe we throw some money in some of these bills for, I don't know, more mental health funding. I mean, because we've brought it up many times throughout this show. It got gutted in the 80s, and we've had many presidents of both parties since the 80s, and nobody's put that money back.
No.
Well, I think the other problem is like ADD and ADHD. Every kid on the planet and every parent on the planet was claiming ADD and ADHD, and then somebody would actually have those disorders would be like, there's something wrong. I don't know. Oh man, are you trying to claim ADHD? Get the hell out of here. There's nothing wrong with you. And I think that's the same thing with mental illness. Somebody's like, I hear voices. I got this, I got that. And people are like, oh, bullshit. And it gets played so much that people are just dismissive of it. Like, stop trying to make excuses.
It's like OCD. How many times do you hear people talk about like, oh, my OCD is so bad. Oh, my OCD. I had to clean my bathroom before I left. I'm just so OCD. And then,
just a picky bitch.
Right?
Right. Have you ever actually met someone who's OCD? Because it rules their life.
It's miserable to watch.
Yes.
Yes.
It is tiresome to watch. Like, literally, I'm talking like the type of people who have to like constantly wash, or if they shut something, they have to shut it just right. And so it's like they could be there for 5 minutes, 100 times, shutting the door over and over, and they can't help themselves. And I'm watching it and I'm like, my God, I want to blow my head off.
Like Michael J. Fox's character in Scrubs. Like that,
that's
OCD.
Depiction.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a closer depiction to real OCD than, well, if I don't get my way and the house doesn't look how I want, I go the fuck off because of my OCD. No, it's because you're a fucking cunt. Now shut the fuck up. You're a spoiled bitch, got to have everything your way.
No.
Just admit it. and we can move on. You know what I'm saying?
OCD is a motherfucker washing his hand 35 times because he didn't do it the right way. That's OCD.
I worked with a guy in a factory, and we got cutting oil all over ourselves. And we would go in on break and on lunch, and to get this shit off, you had to use like the lava type shit. You know, Simple Orange. It's got like chunks of pumice stone and shit in it.
The soap that doesn't clean your hands, but so much takes skin off.
And he would obsessively, I mean, till they were raw. And it was like a couple times he'd scrub skin away. It wasn't like a gash or a cut. It was just like someone took a couple layers of skin off. I don't know how else to put it. And I'm just like, that's horrific. Like I would blow my head off.
Be like, bro, you're okay. It's clean. Stop, please.
But no, dude, like he wasn't like an ass about it. He didn't try to hide it. And he was open about it if you talk to him. And he's just like, I know, but I can't help it. But I know, but I can't help it. And I'm like, hey. Yeah, that's terrifying. And when you see that and you see someone who's just trying to like use it as an excuse for their shitty, pissy behavior, it does water shit down.
Yep.
And honestly, like, look, man, there's people coming out the woodwork with diagnoses and shit, and I'm just like, wait, what? Who did you talk to and get a diagnosis? Well, I looked it up online. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you know what? Then like we're done. Like you're talking about like half the time it's something that is not just based on behavior. There's a neurological component to it that they could have no idea about because they don't have the equipment or the knowledge to read the information that the equipment could provide if they did have the equipment. But this is mental health in this country. And mental health is now paying someone $400 to tell you what you want to hear as you fucking sit in a comfy fucking office that's a safe space in the trust tree. That's mental health these days. That's not mental health. That's paying someone to vent to. Get some homies.
Well, I've had friends that have tried to go in to get like their thyroid diagnosed, and the doctor looks at them and says, "Oh, I think you're just depressed. Here's antidepressants." And then I've also, on this other hand of that, I've had friends go in and be like, I'm miserable. I can't function in my life. My anxiety is completely ruling me. And they're like, try talking to a friend and maybe stop drinking caffeine so much. See ya. Like, it's just, and those are two like real things that I've heard within the past 5 years. It's heartbreaking.
Right. And then that's the other thing I've also said on this show. You get doctors that, they profit by pushing certain drugs. And then you get doctors who are completely scared as shit to even prescribe any type of drug. Everybody's like, oh, the opioids, they're so addictive. They're bad. They're this, they're that. The benzos and all of these, you can't do it. Can't do it. So even though the doctor might know you're in a lot of pain, or the doctor might know you need Xanax or what have you, they're scared to prescribe it in fear of looking like, they're trying to get you addicted to something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even if you have great insurance, which I do, thanks to my wife, going to the doctors, just like Rich said, you're going there and they're telling you what you want to hear. So what's wrong with you? I don't know. That's why I'm fucking here. Well, I mean, do you hurt? All over. Oh, great. Here, take 3 of these. Take 1 of those. Do you have insurance? Uh-huh. All right, let's throw you through a whole ring of tests. You're going to CT, MRI, EKG, and all the other alphabets. That's the real alphabet, people.
Well, then why are you there? If you don't want all these tests, why are you there? If you're at the
What's
doctor,
your alternative?
I'm saying, bro, it's if I go in and I'm like, my shoulder's a little, just it hurts. And CT, MRI, fucking EKG. Let's test your heart because that has something to do with my fucking shoulder. No, but you have insurance. Oh, all right.
Yeah, you have good insurance. That's what you're not bitching about getting the test. You're bitching about they're milking your insurance company. And if you didn't have insurance, they'd be like, nah, you're fine. Go rub some dirt on it and get out of here.
Go get some tussin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Earl, I mean, I could poke holes in everything you just said. I mean, are you being specific?
Always do.
Are you just going, my shoulder hurts? If you're going to be vague, fine. I'll run 9,000 tests on you if you're not going to be specific. That's what I would do. You're not going to tell me.
No, man. It's not just
my shoulder hurts could mean 9,000 things. Is it nerve pain? Is it muscle pain?
My shoulder.
Yeah,
I fell out. I'm not going to get too much information, but I fell out of a shower and hurt my back and went to a hospital. And these motherfuckers were checking my spleen, bruh.
Well, dude, I'm not a doctor, but it could be muscular. It could be nerve. You could have broken a bone. I mean, it could be many things.
I fell flat on my back, and they're checking my spleen, which is in the front.
You're right, because your organs couldn't. You're right. Only your back absorbed the impact. Nothing else could have.
Look. I've never been in your position. I've never had insurance to where I've been walked into any situation that's medical, and they've been like, right this way. We'll be more than happy to run any test that you can think of, and a couple that we're looking up right now to try to figure out if we can run on you. I've never had that. All right. Like when I went in for my heart shit and they saw how serious it was via my blood pressure, my resting heart rate, and he immediately admitted me. About halfway through all the testing, I was like, this seems like a lot of tests. And they were like, you don't have insurance. You have no idea what a lot of tests were. This is what they have to run to release you. And I'm like, really? And they're like, oh yeah, if you had insurance, yeah, you'd probably be here for 3-4 days.
Like,
unless you made a big stink.
I know I'm getting real basic here, but like when you bring your car into the collision shop, they don't just work on the car. They don't just work on the part of the car that absorbed the impact.
No, they try to milk your wallet.
Okay, dude, I'm not a mechanic.
If you bring your car in and say, I don't know, I think a cart in the parking lot ran into my door, see the ding, and then they come back to you and say, yeah, but your air filter's dirty, and that's $39. And
if somebody T-boned you on your passenger side fucking fender, they're going to check the whole fucking front end, dude. Because guess what? It's not just the point of impact that shit got affected by. And that's, I guess,
you're right.
The point I'm making with your back. Your organs might have absorbed some of that other impact. You know, your kidneys are right there in your back. You're like, dude, like it's.
Yeah, wait. You know what? That's Chris Sims when he was quarterback for Tampa Bay. He took a sack and it ruptured his spleen. He had no visible signs, nothing. And then there was a baseball player in the early '90s who laid out to catch a ball and he ruptured his spleen. And both of them, there was no visible signs. There was no way to tell outwardly. But if they hadn't have ran tests, because they were like, this feels a little bit like more than like I just pulled something or hurt something. They'd have bled out internally and they'd have died.
I got T-boned in 2015. Externally, I was fine. They still took me to the hospital and looked at me internally.
But hold on a sec. If they're doing that, okay, let's be honest. You'd hope they're doing that because they're doing due diligence to make sure that a person is okay. But they're really doing it based on how good your insurance is.
Yep. And
because
Chris,
if you have
sorry, not sorry,
we'll send you to a city hospital.
You kind of set me up for this, but I left the hospital with so much pain medicine in me, I don't even remember what the hell happened. However, they didn't find anything because my back was so swollen from the impact. They didn't find it, but I had a fracture on my one of my vertebrae. But they were so worried about other shit, they never saw it, and it was swollen.
Okay, all right. Well, hold on a sec, though. Okay,
but they eventually found it because you're telling us about it.
Okay,
yeah,
but hold up. Okay, hold on. Stop. What the fuck does this have to do with the Buffalo shooting or mental health?
Because people are so dismissive, they're just like, yeah, ain't nothing happening. And then when something happens, people are like, oh, I never saw that coming. Seriously?
Well, duh, yeah. This is the problem. People who haven't been paying attention or people who've been sticking their head in the sand are not... I heard it put this way recently, and I agree with the take, and I really wish I knew the person's name who said it so I could give him credit. But not the crazies, not the woke flakes, the people that went off the deep end when Trump fucking was elected. But just your average, like like pretty solidly left-leaning liberal, was so fucking like obsessed with Trump that the so-called progressives on the left started running wild with shit. All right, now they've woken up. Now that Trump's gone, the left-leaning liberals have waken up and they're like, whoa, you guys are taking this shit way too far.
Bill Maher, looking at you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can't even begin to have the conversation because one quote-unquote side of the conversation can't get their fucking house in order to decide where they fucking stand. Do you not say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, it's just like the average person is seeing this shit now, and we've been seeing it and we've been talking about it for the better part of fucking a decade. And it's tiresome and it's draining because everyone's going, wow, can you believe? And I'm just like, yeah, I've been saying it for 8 years. Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. If you say that, you're an asshole. If you don't say it, you're an idiot who didn't know you didn't see this coming. You ain't as smart as fucking you think you are.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Put me in a no-win situation. all right, cool.
Appreciate it.
But these are the type of people that are waking up to this bullshit. And I don't know.
And you just got to welcome them to the club going, where have you been the last decade?
Well, when you literally have people who are like, I voted for Obama twice. I voted for, I held my nose and voted for Hillary. I held my nose and voted for Biden and blah, 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 and this and this and this. And, now some fucking fucknut gets fucking mad on because of some shit he read on the internet, goes on a fucking shooting spree. And this side, who I've been holding my nose and supporting and ignoring all the shit that they do that I don't like, are now fucking going, yeah, and you know who? It's people like you, straight males, who are the problem, who cause all this shit. And they're just like, why am I still fucking carrying your water? And I think that this is what this shooting is because this shooting ain't got the legs that fucking other shootings have had. I don't know what it is. It's not like it in all the fear porn news outlets. It's where you would expect it to be, but this is not woven its way outside of news into internet and pop culture and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Nope. And I don't know why. And the only thing I can chalk it up to is that once again, the news outlets started pushing a narrative and they got so much either pushback or people just turning their back on them going, I'm tired of being fucking blamed for everything in the world. Fuck off. I'm not listening to you anymore. And just walk away from them, that they're like, let's just not talk about it. I mean, because I almost feel like this shooting is like the guy that drove into the crowd of people in Minnesota or whatever, Wisconsin, whatever it was. I almost feel it's like that kind of fell off the fucking the attention span of the news really quick. And I thought it would linger for much longer than it did. It didn't. And I kind of feel like this Buffalo shooting is the same thing.
Well, I didn't even hear about it. I really didn't know anything at all about it. And then you look it up and it's 10 people, right, who have died, which is more people than some of the other shootings that have held media attention for, weeks and weeks and weeks.
Well, you got the primaries, so we got to cover that instead. But, that's what I told my wife. That's why I carry my gun. People think I'm just making a joke when I say I'm scared of white people, and I'm not. It's not funny. The both shopping
scared of your shadow, dude.
Seriously.
Right.
I'm convinced you just need to stay in the house in a padded room with rounded corners on everything for the rest of your life, man. You're terrified
Why
of
are you scared of
everything.
white people?
Because, dude, once they get it in their head that they're going to go
you didn't hear this?
They do.
The last time he gave the monthly fucking speech on this?
Nicholas Cruz ain't white. The guy from Pulse wasn't white.
The guy who shot up the movie theater was white. The two guys that shot up the fucking shopping centers, the one in Colorado, he was white. The one now in Buffalo, white. Once they get it in their head that they're going to go shoot somewhere, it's over. You can't talk to them. You can't reason with them.
So how come you can say that about white people but not black people?
Black people aren't doing it, fucker.
They do it to themselves. I can show you the
All right,
statistics.
so wait a minute. Hold on. So when white people snap, white people turn into Terminators. I think everybody in the world needs to chill the fuck out with white people then.
Yeah.
Okay? I think you need to watch your fucking tone, take that bass out your fucking voice, people. Okay? Because I've about had enough. All right? Keep fucking with me and find
Earl,
out.
I could prove it with years and years of statistics. Black people do it to themselves all the time.
Okay, but I'm not black, bro.
You realize you have a better chance of winning the lottery, right?
Then what?
Than being involved in a mass shooting.
That's great and all, but I don't want to take chances with my life, bro.
Again, you have a better chance of winning the lottery, which is you have a better chance of being hit by lightning than winning the lottery.
What's your retirement plan? Well, I'm gonna win when I buy this scratch off, get hit by lightning after I leave from buying the scratch off, or some random cracker mayo monkey's gonna shoot me down in the street. That's it. That's my retirement plan.
That's how shit
One of those
down.
three. Oh my God. You know what? I take it back. This is the best way to talk about fucking mental illness in this country. Continue.
I'm not going to live in fear of shit I can't control, Earl. And that's what you
I don't live in fear either. That's why I carry my gun.
Okay. Shall we analyze the sentence, everybody?
Good.
What? You don't live in fear. That's why you carry your gun. Please explain.
Right. I have
He
my
doesn't live in
guns.
fear because he carries his gun.
That's right.
I could argue.
Right.
I could argue you carry your gun because you live in fear. Why are you carrying your gun?
But
For-
okay.
Just in case.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Just in case of what?
I am a huge advocate of carrying a gun, as you would expect from me down south. Because you're never going to regret having a gun on you. You'll regret there's situations that can come up that you would regret not having a gun on you.
Better to have more ammo than you need than you want than less than you need.
Right. So I mean, I'm not advocating for anyone to go out and commit any crimes or anything, but whenever there's signs on the door and it's like, don't bring a gun in here. Like, if you have it concealed, if someone were to have that concealed, they would only pull it out if they absolutely fucking had to.
But what situations have you been? Like, let's analyze your statement. What's the percentage of situations that you've been in where you would have, it's all about what ifs. Trust me, I'm pro Second Amendment, but at the same time, it's like, again,
in our day and age, Chris, it was what if. Today, it's when.
Really?
All right, I've already been.
That's not that literally sounds like living in fear.
No, bro, it's not.
That sounds
It's
like you're
living
waiting for something to happen. That is living in fear.
Bro, it's living in reality.
Really?
People are fucking retarded.
When's the last time you had to pull your gun out in public?
3 months ago.
For what?
Because somebody got bent. Because somebody said something at a QT at a gas station I was at.
Was the gun pointed at you?
There was people coming off a party bus.
So
with
no.
guns.
So you're the one who pointed the gun first.
Well, technically, the guy that they were shooting at had his gun pointed in my direction. So
You never clearly answered any question I asked you.
I'll tell you what, Chris, don't carry a gun.
Was a gun ever pointed at you?
Like I said, technically, the guy they were shooting at was.
Because you're done. Because you had to preface it with technically your answer is no.
Okay, but do you wait until a gun is pointed at you, or do you act offensively? If there is
okay. Now I'm getting on everyone who talks about Second Amendment. Isn't it all about self-defense? Isn't it all about I'm not supposed to use my weapon until another one's pointed at me?
If a gun is drawn and aimed 2 feet from me, like 2 feet to my left, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be getting myself ready for the half second it would take for someone to shift that in my direction.
I agree, but you didn't start your response with, well, technically.
You're right. You're correct.
Because you were being technical, was it? Yes.
It took you, 5 minutes to say yes?
Has anyone here ever had to hold someone for the police or had to draw down on someone and put the fear of God into them that if they don't get the fuck out of your face, the last thing they're going to see is a bright light coming out the end of the gun that you're holding?
I've had someone tell me that, and I didn't. He said he had a gun. I wasn't going to be like, well, I don't see it, so you're full of shit. No. I fucking walked the other way. I wasn't fucking going to test that guy.
I've drawn down on somebody. I drew down on somebody because they wouldn't put their hands where I could see them. And I was in a building on the east side of Detroit at around 3:30 in the morning by myself with multiple points going off on first and second floors, doing a clearing the building by myself with a 3-cell fucking mag light and a 9mm. So yeah, when the motherfucker came around the corner and I said hands, and then he just fucking turned and he didn't fucking raise his hands. Now he was fucking drunk, high out of his mind, whatever. But yeah, my training kicked in. You damn right he got Drew down on. I'm gonna be honest with you, ain't that great of a feeling. No. I mean, but I'll tell you what,
Rich, I guess
I understand the desire to protect yourself, okay, and carry a weapon, but I also understand this. The vast majority, I've had a permit to carry a weapon 24/7. When we were in specs, I was carrying 24/7. It's not that big of a deal to me. I don't get anything. I don't get like any type of like, ooh, I feel cool. I feel like fucking more in control. I don't feel safer, because if I'm in a situation where I require a gun, I've already made bad decisions putting myself in that situation. I mean,
I've been in a gas station when it was getting robbed without a gun. I didn't have a gun. They had a gun.
So, you know, that type of shit is like, that's like struck by lightning, act of God type of shit. Like, if you on your insurance policy, there's literally act of gods, or acts of God, because they're like, we don't know it. You can't fucking plan for that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like, okay, I know that on October 18th, 2023 at exactly 8:14 p.m. in buttfuck Nebraska, I'm going to walk into a fucking Piggly Wiggly and there's going to be a dude who's going to pull a gun on me, and all I want is some Pickles Pig's feet. That's not reality. That's where I start to worry about some gun owners, because they get on that fantasy bullshit, and they get on that power fantasy shit like I'm invincible because I have a gun. Earl and I know a guy. Earl grew up with him. Well, more so than I did. I didn't grow up with him at all. I won't say his name because I ain't going to say anything good about him. But this type of asshole who walks around and, like, we have open carry in this state. You don't need a permit to do it. And he would walk around, like, with a gun on his hip, open carrying, like, hey, I have my permit. And I'm like, no, the fuck you don't. You could literally take that gun off, sign it over to me, and I could put it on my hip. You don't need a permit to open carry. But like this guy's whole thing was like, his persona, everything was based on he's got a gun, he's Billy Badass. And it's like, take that gun away and you're just a dude who's going to get your ass kicked, dude. That's really it.
Oh, yeah, like those people are obnoxious, and I'm not advocating for people like that in any way. But I don't see anything at all wrong with being more comfortable with carrying a gun on you at all times. I don't.
I don't either, but saying that you...
more apt to.
I don't either, but saying that you carry, that you don't live in fear, but because you carry a gun, to me that just sounds backwards. It's like you're waiting for shit to happen. Like, Rich, you carried it. You know why you carried your weapon 24/7? Because it was part of your job. That situation you were describing, that was your job. You were called to that building. You were called to go clear that building out. You weren't just carrying that gun around because, oh, I feel safer because shit's going crazy.
No, and the guy I'm talking about who carried the gun on his hip, open carried it, like his dumb ass would walk into bars doing it. And I'm like, bro, you understand.
That's illegal.
Like,
in Michigan, that's illegal as fuck.
That's 2 years, dude. I'm like, how the fuck they even let you in here? I have my jacket over it. Oh, so it's concealed. So you just keep breaking the law. Okay. For a Navy SEAL, you don't know shit about weapons, but and the laws about them. But okay, cool, sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and see, but here's the thing, Chris. I think you're attributing that type of fucking a person who carries, with people who were like, nah, I'd rather have it and not need it than not have it and need it. Yep.
I'm just like, don't tell me you're not living in fear and you're carrying a gun.
Well, we started this conversation with me saying because I'm scared of white people.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, you're scared of random white people shooting you up. I'm scared of white people showing up with like FBI ATF on a flak jacket serving me a warrant. Okay, we are not the same. So yeah, dude, it's kind of an irrational fear you have. This podcast could get any of our doors kicked in. I have more of a reason to be afraid of white people than you do. But was it 27 years now I've known you?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Nothing. That's why I was like, run with it, Chris. You and him go. Because I've had all the conversations I could have about it, and I'm just like, that's just Earl.
Well, one could argue Earl is the type of white person to be afraid of.
Without the gun, motherfucker, what?
Well, his theory is you piss us off enough, we turn into Terminators. I'm telling you, watch your mouth around white people. Like, you know who you really got to watch, because they're so. Because the more polite they are, the worse they're going to snap. Stop fucking with Canadians. Canada will butt fuck the planet. Stop. We don't want that. Those are real white people. Those are like, oh my gosh, white people. We don't want them pissed off. Yeah.
Sounds like a punk band album title. Butt fuck the planet.
Okay. Well, anyways, any last thoughts on the Buffalo shooting? Because I mean, honestly, I
just wonder your guys' news sources, because it was all over mine the whole weekend.
Crystal and
Instagram,
Sogern,
Facebook.
Breaking Points, The Hill, and I mean NPR's been covering it, but NPR's been pushing two things in their fear porn. You can no longer have an abortion ever again.
Right.
And 18-year-old white nationalists are going to take over the country.
Well, yeah, that's where that's coming from, Buffalo.
You know, all that shit. But that's NPR. I expect that from NPR. NPR is the fucking propaganda wing of the Democratic Party. I mean, I don't even.
Hey,
I don't even know the most fucking like pathetic fucking partisan that would disagree with that.
Hey, by the way, did you see the state of Michigan stepped in this week and said that they're not going to enforce that anti-abortion law from 1931?
No. What law is this?
Well, no, apparently, I guess there's a law from 1931. Apparently, abortion's illegal in Michigan, according to this 1931 law. No one has bothered to enforce it ever, and the Michigan legislature this week stepped in to say that law is unconstitutional, which it's another one of, yay, we did something. We struck down a law nobody's enforcing.
Bureaucracy. You spend more energy looking busy than you would solving actual problems.
And then the state attorney general had to step in to say that she wasn't going to appeal the court's decision to strike down this law. Yay!
Well, I mean, it's pretty much settled here in this state, right? Like, I mean, the last poll I heard before the leak of the intent or the intended ruling, I can only imagine it's gone up, is it was like 70% of people in the state of Michigan support abortion in some form or another. And the way the pro-lifers spun it was like, you know, I think it was like 5% like up to partial birth. Most people, it was like nothing after the second. I think it was like 40%, nothing after the second trimester, et cetera, et cetera. And then like, you know, shit like that. So everybody could slice it up and do what they wanted with it. So it doesn't matter. This is pretty much decided. I don't think that like this state's going to flip on the abortion issue.
Well, you know what?
Whitmer's gone because Whitmer fucked up. Has just fucked up. Period.
Yeah.
I mean that like that bitch. Well, take your sloppy ass titties and get the fuck on, bitch.
But you know what's funny is I saw maybe not funny, funny peculiar. I saw an article from Axios within the last week or so that diagrammed out essentially abortion laws in every state. And in every state except Texas and Oklahoma, you can get an abortion within the first 6 months. What the fuck is all this hand-wringing for?
So why am I hearing on NPR that if this ruling was to come down from Supreme Court, that this would trigger 37 ban
in a row
states ban of yeah, I know. Believe me, if I could get through to troll NPR with that, I would have. But it's NPR. I'm not getting through. But yeah, then why are they reporting that, like, or having their guests come on and make that claim that 37 states immediately would have trigger laws that would ban abortion?
I don't know. Axios isn't exactly a hard right news source, so I don't know what the fuck. I saw this.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now? We can't even. This is why when we sit around and we go, what are we going to talk about? It's impossible sometimes for certain subjects because I don't know who you got your info on the subject from, no more than you know about me, and we don't know if we even got even close to the same info on the same fucking subject.
I'll say it again out loud so we can all hear it. That includes you, listener. In all but Texas and Oklahoma, within the first 24 weeks, you can get an abortion. So in 48 states, you could still get an abortion within the first 6 months. What?
So if Roe versus Wade was overturned, there's 13 trigger states that would completely ban abortion.
Let me guess. They're all down south.
Okay.
Not all of them. You have Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, North Dakota, and South Dakota.
They're all red. They're all where the constituents would go with their lawmakers anyway.
Here's my prediction then. That because I'm paraphrasing because I was working and listening at the same time, so I wasn't like 100% listening to it. I'm like 99% sure it was a guest that was on that made this claim. My guess is that they were trying to make it look like worst case scenario, and there's probably 37 states who have laws that would be affected by the ruling one way or the other. And it was just you see what I'm saying? It's easy for them to go, It would trigger 37 states' trigger laws against abortion, and make it. Fuck! Then over half the country doesn't want abortion. That's not reality. This is why this subject is just like I can't until something gets ruled about. What are we talking about? We're talking about talk.
Exactly.
We literally talk about talk.
The last half decade plus. We just all of a sudden get off and go nuts on maybes. Like we don't even wait for like the hard facts or decisions to come down anymore. Like if there's a maybe, we just jump all over it. Like every time
you know what?
I'll tell you guys, every time I see a headline that says, maybe or could or might, I always say, well, it also could say maybe not or could not or might not, but that's not going to fucking get somebody to click on it.
Well, come with me real quick down this rabbit hole. What you just said sounds to me like a really bad case of anxiety, like some sort of anxiety disorder. And the way you described it happening to us as a society sounds like it's some sort of mass case of anxiety disorder where we're like, we think of the worst thing that could possibly happen and let that the fear of that thing happening paralyze us.
Dude, yeah, look at every headline. Just open Google News right now. I guarantee you, within 2 or 3 scrolls of your thumb, you're going to find some headline that is just gloom and Bill Hicks, war, famine, death, AIDS, depression. Like you're just going to find like the word. Fuck, I'll do that shit right now. Real time, not with Bill Maher. Just real time is. Let's find the closest doom, the quickest. Route to doom here. Arizona reps Gosar Biggs vote against baby formula bill. Tornado chance doubled in latest forecast. Only targets Michigan tomorrow. So don't leave the basement tomorrow if you live in Michigan. You see what I'm saying? Like it's monkeypox. Monkeypox outbreak. What do we know? What is it, like 1 case in Massachusetts?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah. No, New York COVID hospitalizations at 3-month high, rise 25% in 10 days as 5th wave intensifies. But what's 35? What's 3-month high? Like 7% as opposed to 2?
I know that the high like a month ago for the previous like 30, 60 days was like 4,800 cases in Michigan. Out of what, 11 million people in the state?
Yeah.
4,800?
But how many are being hospitalized?
Oh, I don't know. Because anytime.
Because that's what the article was talking about.
Well, as someone, I've spent time. Once again, this is why I have such a hard time having conversations with certain people about certain subjects. When they talk about hospitalizations, a lot of the times, the caveat or the qualifier of we're talking about intensive care beds should have been broadcast at the beginning, middle, and end of the news story. and it never was, period. And so beds are filling up. No, those are ICU beds. And I was in the ICU when I went in for my heart shit. And this was like a major hospital on like right on the border of Detroit and one of the richest suburbs in the entire fucking world. Or not suburbs, but counties in the world. So this was a big hospital. There was only 12 beds in the ICU. Right. So if you live in Wayne County, which is where the county Detroit's in, and there's like what in Metro Detroit, an estimated 5-6 million, somewhere around there. So put 4 of them in Wayne County. You're really shocked that if there's like, you know what I'm saying? If there's like 20 hospitals with 12 fucking ICU beds, that they're all taken up. It sounds horrible until you actually look at the numbers and go, well, that's not that bad. I mean, it's not great. And if it was you or your family member, you wouldn't be happy to be in that situation.
Or this, right? 8 of those beds are filled up. 80%. ICU beds are at 80% capacity. Yeah, you got 8 out of 12.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Problem. I had this conversation with someone, with a buddy of mine, not that long ago, and it feels like in the last 20 years there has been a real shift in just the outlook of society that we live in. When 9/11 happened that morning, I remember the news reporting, depending on how many people were in that building, upwards of 50,000 people could be killed. And when it came out that it was like the 3,000 and some change that it was, like newscasters said, well, thank God there weren't more people in the building. Whereas now it'd be like, you're disrespecting the people that died. You're not you're not showing representation. You're being inconsiderate. And this is some sort of microaggression. And it's like, 50,000 people could have died, and you're sitting here dancing, but what about the 3,000 that did die? And it's just like, oh my God, really, people? Really? Like the minute that COVID happened, if you guys remember, we all talked about it. I was like, people are going to die from this shit. There's no two ways about it. Like people who should not die for decades are going to die from this shit. That's the reality of the situation. We as a society don't want to hear that shit. We want to hear bullshit. No, everything's going to be fine. They all lived happily ever after. That ain't reality.
Well, even Bill Gates now is saying that that they didn't realize at the beginning that it was only going to primarily affect the very elderly and the severely immunocompromised.
Actually, they fucking did.
Oh, I know.
If you look at
that wasn't the narrative he was
What happened
pushing.
to the former governor or mayor or whatever the fuck of New York?
Oh, Cuomo?
He just disappeared.
Well,
yeah, Cuomo.
Yeah, because he's handsy. He disappeared for a reason.
He played grab ass and trapdoored out of there.
Yeah. He got his Emmy taken away. He had to give the money he made from his book back. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, you didn't know all that? Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. He Homer Simpsoned into the bushes real fucking quick.
Damn.
Yeah, he's going to stay going quite a while.
And then his brother got caught. Apparently being handsy's a family trait. Well, no, wait, no. Chris Cuomo got caught trying to fucking cover some shit up about his brother. That's why Chris Cuomo went down. But there was also some chatter with some other shit.
Using his connections at the network he worked at to get stories buried, to get people fucking to discredit shit, to get people to look the other way, et cetera, et cetera. Literal abuse of power. Like what the power dynamic and blah 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 and all this bullshit we hear. No, here's a literal case of that. And it's one of your biggest cheerleaders. No? And so of course it's not being talked about. Fucking believe me. If that was fucking like Steven Crowder, if that was fucking you know what I'm saying, like Tim Pool, if that was like any of the fucking people, that was Rogan.
That's Corolla, Rogan.
Which is hilarious that people like the people that insist that Joe Rogan is a fucking hard right-wing fascist.
It's the same thing with Adam Carolla. They are both saying the same shit they have been saying for years. They haven't moved. Society has.
Well, I mean that's kind of what the podcast that I was talking about, where they were talking about, now that Trump's gone and the hysteria that he ushered in has left with him, and the more rational adults in the fucking in the left side of the political spectrum are starting to look around and go, oh, y'all motherfuckers been acting fools while we've been fucking busy. Oh, hell no. This is the shit I'm talking. Like, this is another part of it. This is what needs to happen. There needs to be voices from the middle that speak up and put this shit into what do you call it? God damn it, perspective. Thank you. Sorry.
Right, but I mean that's just like Jalene or whatever Maxwell. She disappeared, and nobody ever heard the list of people that were supposed to take.
Dude, we're never gonna hear that list unless you live to be fucking 80.
She didn't disappear. She's in jail.
I'm just saying the court case that was supposed to have all that shit.
No, I'm with you.
Dude, how do you?
Where the fuck is the list? Where the fuck is the list? How the fuck you gonna send her to prison for trafficking, being basically a pimp of underage girls to men in power, and not release one man in power's name?
Because so many people are on that list. I don't understand how you guys don't understand this. Like, that list will never come out.
So what you're saying is flat out, and I hate to start off a fucking sentence like that, but it's like you're leaving me no other choice here. Is you're just like, well, of course it's fucking corrupt. Of course that they're breaking the law and they're rubbing it in our face, and we're just gonna fucking take it.
Yes, I think the people that are on that list, I think they're from both parties, all spectrums of all kinds of seats of power. Yes, I think there is a joint. I think there is. Yes, I think there is people from both sides keeping, like, that list will never see the fucking light of day.
8 fucking years on this network, and this is the conspiracy theory that he finally believes in.
Absolutely. All of the people, all of the people that were rumored to visit that island, abso-fucking-lutely.
Welcome to the dark side.
Well, it wasn't just rumors. It was there was a book kept with their names.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like,
there was fucking flight logs filed with the Federal Aviation Commission or Aviation Association, FAA or whatever the fuck. It's a federal fucking law. And so here's the bitch of it. If someone can prove that someone flew and they didn't log one of their fucking passengers, that person's is basically committing, what do you call it? Perjury if they fucking are deposed on the federal level and say, no, I never flew out there.
Dude, I'm just saying,
we have proof.
If there's a modern day Illuminati, they were on this fucking island.
All right. I mean,
what's the difference between the modern day Illuminati and the old school Illuminati?
No, but I'm just saying it's
modern day Illuminati's digital. Their website's on the dark.
I'm saying
the old Illuminati had an AOL website.
I'm saying it's people like ex-presidents, except like Carter, because he's just I don't believe. I'm saying ex-presidents, entertainers, people like Bezos, Gates. I'm saying like that kind of shit. Like I'm just man.
All right. Well, I mean,
I like conspiracy, Chris. I'm here for this.
I say less, homie. I just want to make sure that you weren't fucking pulling my chain.
I'm just saying,
trying to set me up.
I'm just saying, if you look at all the people that were on this island, the amount of commerce they move around globally, abso-fucking-lutely, we will never fucking ever get this list.
Well, I mean,
we're talking about motherfuckers who could pick up phones and say, kill this person. Done.
No, I get you. They pick up if they want it. When they want a politician gone, they pick up the phone and get a day of the jackal motherfucker to do some shit. They put it in work. I got you. Hey, Mr. President, we're gonna changing our plans. When we go to Dallas, we're gonna ride with the top down. You know,
we're gonna slow down to 10 miles an hour.
Listen out, basically come to a fucking stop.
Like, I mean, you brought up abuse of power. I'm saying this is ultimate abuse of power. I'm talking like global power, like people who can like shift economies.
I'm not disagreeing with you. This is the shit that's like you are screaming into the void. Ultimately, no individual can do anything to bring all that down. And we can't even agree on what a fucking woman is. So how the fuck are we all supposed to get on the same page to be like, yo? So, I mean, what do you do?
Here's a litmus test. Does anybody on this podcast think Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, though, I mean, like, you go to an Alzheimer's ward. I'm sure they're like, I don't know much, but I know that motherfucker didn't kill himself. And it's like,
Right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, right on, Pops, right on.
Like-
you know what I'm saying? Like, stay righteous.
Like-
you know, like,
The whole world posted that Justin Timberlake fucking meme.
yeah, just
when we're like, Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Really?
How?
Yeah. There is no way that guy fucking killed himself. There's no fucking way.
hey, I think it's funny because you argue so passionately against so many conspiracy theories, and you trot out the most well-worn and overused and so many times overshot down fucking arguments to argue against conspiracy theories. But when we get to the one you believe, you're like, yo, it's just got to be this way. It's just got to be that way.
Just much power. So much power was involved.
See, it's just like it can't be any other way. It just can't.
I'm not talking about like motherfuckers who are CEOs of their companies. Ooh, no. I'm talking people who run countries.
Fuck countries. People who are fucking pushing to run globalization.
Yes.
They want to sit down at a fucking card table that'll hold 4 people, and they still think there's 3 too many sitting at that table. Trust me.
Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos can fart and it will change global society. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about.
Speaking of people with that much pull, Jess, you wanted to bring up Elon. We couldn't start the show with him. Couldn't go 6 weeks in a row.
Well, no. That ship sailed. At this point, it would be like 8 weeks in a row.
Oh, would it? Okay. I don't even know anymore.
So yeah, apparently his Twitter deal is on hold right now because it turns out that up to 20% of Twitter's user base are all bots.
Yes, and that's not what they told the SEC, which was 5%. And Elon wants to see the numbers, and Twitter is saying no. So Elon's saying, well, my sale was contingent on the information that you told the Security and Exchange Commission. So you can eat a big bag of fucking dicks.
Well,
right. It makes it much less profitable if there's only 80% of the people that are supposed to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true. But Jess, let me ask you this too.
Okay.
Is it, and it's a tinfoil hat theory I'm famous for them, but do you think somebody got to him and said, get out of this and right now?
The richest man in the world? No.
I don't know that anyone got to him. I don't know that
I think he's a businessman.
I don't know that he didn't already. I don't know that he didn't already suspect it. Is my thing. Because we all know that there are bots on Twitter. You and I know that. Anyone, I'm sure, hopefully listening knows that there are bots on Twitter. And I don't know if he didn't start getting this far into the cell so he could start digging that up. I'm not saying that's the whole reason he was going into the cell, but to start exposing that information. You see, does that make sense? I feel like I'm not explaining my.
No,
okay.
It does, but I think once the sales started to progress, he should have said this then. But I get it; he could bring this out, but it's very convenient that he brings this out and says, "Well, my sales depended on it." It just feels like somebody's trying to get him out.
Nah, he's a businessman. He wants to get his money's worth. He said, I was going to pay you this much per share based on this, and now it's, and you know why I think it's Twitter's full of shit is because they're saying, well, we're going to go through the sale anyway. Sorry, you said you were going to pay us this much. Like the reason they're going through with the sale is he's paying them a lot of fucking money. Like everyone on that board, all their shareholders are going to make a considerable amount of money based on what he's going to pay. And Elon's just saying, hey, I said I was going to pay you this money based on this. You're telling, it's like, Earl, you go to buy a new truck, right? They tell you there's a V8 in it, and then you look under the hood and there's a 4-cylinder in it. Whoa, homie, price just changed, right?
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I just wondered if somebody was like, we don't want you doing all this freeness and Twitter, fucker.
Nah.
Well, a lot of people are like that, though.
No, because
right.
Because he's now,
and we were just talking about all the people in power.
Yeah, but he came out. But he came out this week.
I just wonder if somebody had a vested interest and was like, "Hey, get out of this."
Who could have? Right now, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. Who could have a more vested interest in him?
Another rich man.
Well,
Doesn't have to be as rich as him.
They're worth less than him. So Elon would be like, get the fuck out of here. You're like the buzzing of flies to Elon.
Or maybe, just to kind of be a touch of tinfoil hatty with you, Earl, maybe he kind of suspected that it was this high from the beginning, and he used that as his way to bail out if he needed to.
Maybe.
See, I put more stock in that because he's a businessman. You always got to hedge your bets.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all stay up to date. I can't stay up to date with Project Veritas. They put out way too much stuff, way too often. But they have been doing a huge exposed Twitter for months now. But there was a new video that came out, I think this past week, and it's these people who were, talking to Twitter. It was a head executive, somebody undercover.
Oh yeah,
and he the guy bragging about being like that they're commie as fuck.
Well, yeah, because what Project Veritas does is they catfish people on like Tinder.
Yes,
and they get them to that this video was this chick talked to this guy on a dating app, got him to go out with him, and then videotaped him the whole time, and just spilling all kinds of shit about Twitter, pretty much verifying everything everybody thought about it.
Mm-hmm. Did you see, just kind of, on topic, but off topic a little bit, there was one where Twitter got an email warning their people to not be exposed by Project Veritas, to be careful with who you're disclosing information to because Project Veritas continues to try to expose them. And this Twitter guy opens his email and reads this to an undercover Project Veritas person.
Oh yeah, Earl,
that's my favorite.
He was on videotape saying, "Oh yeah, pretty much they censor anything on the right, and it's all about being on the left, and everybody that works there is pro-communism and anti-capitalism." Which, when I heard that, I was like, so they'd be cool with Twitter just holding their checks every week and just doling out their money to them and go, "Here you go."
No, of course not, Chris. It's always socialism for everybody else, capitalism for them.
Twitter just goes, "Hey, I'll hold on to your money. What's your car note? Here you go. Oh, you need to eat this week? Here you go. Here's what Daddy Twitter thinks you need."
Well, real quick, I stepped away for a second, but just the Elon Musk and Twitter thing. Here's my fucking theory. I'll throw this out there. I think he really wanted to buy Twitter. I think Twitter got caught fucking trying to juke their numbers and, juice them up. He knew that was a possibility, and he figured, worst comes to worst, I'll expose them for frauds, maybe fucking actually take some of their fucking, their clout away, maybe wake some of the corporate world up to, why are you listening to these people? You know what I'm saying? Like when 20% of their fucking, their quote unquote user base is fake and bullshit. And by the way, if 20% are bots, you can bet that's a very active 20%. They're not going to, people don't fucking create bots and fucking release them and pay for them to be used for them just to fucking like and follow and not engage with people on Twitter. It's kind of easy to spot them once you know how to spot. Well, on Facebook at least. I don't know about Twitter, but it's a lot. It just cut paste. They say the same thing in different groups. It's real easy to spot them. So
yeah,
I think he was just like, worst comes to worst, I buy Twitter, and I can fucking actually enforce free speech. Or not worst comes to worst, but best comes to best. That's what happens. Worst comes to worst, he exposes them for the frauds they are. And hopefully fucking smack, it acts like a smack in the face to corporations who are basing their entire business model on what the fuck they think Twitter wants. Like that's like Twitter's the voice of a generation or some shit.
I don't know that it'll make any difference in how anyone interacts with Twitter, as sad as that is. Like knowing that it's just bots that are pushing whatever agenda they're out there pushing. I don't know that if Elon backed out of Twitter, if Twitter just kept existing the same way that Twitter exists, I don't know that many people would change their interaction with it at all.
Well, I'm absolutely 100% not on Twitter. Can't stand Twitter. Absolutely see no point in it. For how I use the internet, it's useless to me. But I do see a lot of people talking about the hardcore Twitter people are flipping out because this is like this. Twitter has become, for the quote unquote progressive left, has become a place where they could go and get as fucking far out crazy as they want and pretty much do it with carte blanche and never have to worry about looking over their shoulder, catching bans, pissing the wrong people off, et cetera, et cetera. They're now flipping out because they won't have that anymore. And one of the things that like the strategists on the left are saying, the political strategists on the left, I use that word loosely because they're mostly political strategists on Reddit, but whatever. They're like, this could splinter the left because its online presence won't be a centralized one; it'll be a decentralized one. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
but
Twitter
they
is
still
the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They still have Facebook.
Yeah, but
That's
Facebook
still...
is more boomerish and is a lot more conservative. Believe it or not, believe it or not, it is.
I mean, I stay the hell away from Twitter. I really do. I get on. I have an account so I can log in and see things. I do not post. I don't like the layout. I don't feel like it's very user friendly at all.
No, I don't like the UI. I don't like the layout. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I spent a little bit of time on there. This is my experience, my opinion, solely that. I spent a little bit of time on there for a podcast because I was told that that's how you build a following, is Twitter for podcasts, and you interact with people and blah, 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 blah. And I swear to God, I started seeing shit because once that algorithm starts to get a feel for you, they've got it. They've really tuned it. Let's put it that way. Because they started showing me shit that pissed me off. Not that I wanted to like, hey, that's cool, like that, move on. No, that pissed me off so bad that I was like typing out paragraphs before I caught myself. Mm-hmm. That's another reason I don't like Twitter. It's that manipulative. And I don't even think they even fucking have a thin veneer of like a cloak at all to hide behind. They're just open about it at this point. Like, yeah, that's our business model. That's what keeps you coming back. And if people complain too loud, how much do you pay for Twitter? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I just use it for the trades in the NFL and the big news. It always comes through.
I can follow certain sites and certain pages on Facebook and pretty much get the same thing.
Right, but also Michael Rappaport just unleashes on there. It's funny as shit. You should see some of his tweets. Some of his video tweets is funny as shit.
Michael Rappaport's, he's always been fucking hilarious and crazy. That's a good combination.
Yeah, speaking of giving no fucks, some of his tweets are fucking hilarious.
Some of the best shit talking I've ever heard surrounding fantasy football is Michael Rappaport in Howard Stern's Fantasy Football League.
He had, for 1 year, he had a fantasy football podcast, and it was great.
That's all he did. Yeah, of course, because all he does is talk shit.
Yeah, it was awesome. Just talk shit for like an hour every week. It was great.
How are you talking shit about... Wait, what are you going to do? Are you going to get out there and run the ball for him? You going to throw the ball for him? What are you talking shit about?
This Rap talking shit. He's just... I'd like to hear Rap talk shit.
I mean, I get that, but you like shit talking in fantasy football, especially.
I do.
Yeah, just admit it, man. Come on, bro.
I've already mock drafted.
It's like when you admitted you like bigger girls. Like you were like, that part of me is out of the closet. And with these fatties that are in here with me, I didn't have much room to breathe, so it's a good thing. Okay, dude. You'll be all right. Oh, shit. That's the line. I found the line after 8 years.
There's no need to editorialize.
I'm sorry.
I don't give a fuck.
Hey, man.
I know who I am.
Yeah, hey, I know what I'm about, son.
Exactly.
I know what I'm about. All right. Well, let's go out on a lighter note. I mean, it could take a tragic turn because it is Taco Bell, but Mexican pizza's back after 2 years, right? And by the way, I thought it was gone for more than 2 years. But anyways, people, if they like it and they're happy that it's back, cool. I was like, all right, cool. I might actually stop at Taco Bell for the first time in like a year and pick one up just for old time's sake until I saw they want $6 fucking for one.
No, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like
That used to be like a struggle meal.
It's like $5.69 up here.
How many tacos I can get for $6?
Motherfucker, I can hit Old Mexico on Ford Road in Westland on Taco Tuesday and walk out with 10 real motherfucking tacos from people that barely speak the language.
Yeah, but y'all still got White Castle up there. We don't have White Castle down here. That's the real struggle.
Do you have Crystals?
Nope.
Oh,
You don't have Crystals or White Castle?
Yeah,
no,
you're
and
just
White
sliding-
Castle was founded
sliding-
here in Wichita.
See, but my
that is a weird thing.
My White Castle consumption was directly related to my alcohol consumption. I couldn't tell you the last time I've had White Castle.
It's a craving
Rich
thing.
knows this. If I get too drunk, if anybody even thinks about saying the word white or castle, he's beating your ass. Because I will not stop until somebody goes and gets it.
I mean, trust me, I've put away many portions of Crave cases in my day.
Yes,
But
sir.
It's maybe too. It's the day after as well. Like, man,
dude. Okay, look,
ain't
man.
nothing worth that.
Look, it's been about 8 months since the last time I had a drink, and I twice in those 8 months I've gotten cravings for White Castle. Like, man, I want some White Castles. But then an hour later it goes away, and then I go, yeah, I don't have to have the bubble guts and the mud butt. And I mean, it is kind of disturbing that they smell the next day coming out exactly like they did going in.
Walk in the bathroom, it smells like onions. Like, what the fuck?
Like it literally smells like a White Castle just fell out your ass. Yeah. It's kind of disturbing. So but I will give in to that urge. But anyways, let's not make it about you, Shrek. Calm down. What I'm saying is there any fucking thing on the fast food menus that you guys fucking absolutely miss that and wish they'd bring back that is just never going to happen?
The fucking
Yes.
Girl, go ahead.
The McSkillet burrito.
The what?
What?
The McSkillet burrito.
McSkillet burrito.
Yes.
Was it just a bunch of shit in a tortilla?
With Roja sauce, yes.
Not like the breakfast burritos they have with the hot sauce they have now.
No.
Was it like potatoes?
Yep.
At McDonald's?
Yep.
When the fuck was this?
2008-ish.
Where the fuck was this?
In Michigan.
Kalamazoo, Detroit area, where?
It was all over up there. I guess it was a test pilot that they were doing or whatever.
I mean, it sounds like...
Motherfucker, I lived in Wixom, and there was one right on the corner. They didn't have that. I'd have known about that.
Then you missed the fuck out because that was good as shit.
It sounds good as fuck.
Dude, I got two.
I'm mad I missed out right now in 2022.
They didn't even have the hash browns that they have, man. They had the square shit.
See, I like McDonald's hash browns, though, so whatever.
See, I got two. I feel like I've talked about them. Maybe it's another podcast, but this podcast recently, I got two. We'll go with the aforementioned White Castle, the garlic chicken sandwich.
Yes, we did talk about that in a roundabout way. We talked about you missing that, but it wasn't the subject.
And then Burger King, there was McGriddles came out, and Burger King came out with their retort to it, and it was the French toast sandwich, and it was basically
motherfucker's gonna make me hungry.
It was the buns were made out of their French toast sticks, and it was so good, and it was around for a month, and then never again, and that's why McDonald's is number one. Dipshits.
Jess.
Oh, mine's back. This was mine.
Really?
Yes. Hands down. Absolutely. This was my favorite.
Ask him to put green onions on it, though.
I know. Listen, I come home and put those on there myself.
No.
Because I have to. It's not the
that.
same without it. It's not the same without it.
This is some old bullshit. Because, 5 motherfuckers in California in 2006 or 7 get sick off of one bad batch of green onions. Everybody in the world got to suffer no more green onions on a fucking Mexican pizza. Because Granny and the 4 other fucking golden cunts got fucking the backdoor trots for a few fucking hours. Fuck them bitches. Salt and sugar kicks your ass. Get in the fucking casket and shut the fuck up. All right? Let us enjoy life. Fuck that. That pisses... Yes. Okay. So, anyways.
Tell me how you really feel about this.
Usai like a motherfucker. Okay. All right. So yes, the green onions on the Mexican pizza was I did miss it, but then I learned to accept it. Much like divorce. But then they got rid of the enchilada. And you remember what the enchilada is, guys?
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the enchilada is like, it was a flour tortilla.
Oh, yes, I do. I
meat,
just looked it up.
onions, red sauce, cheese, and they used to put black olives on top way back in the day. Yeah. And I didn't even realize they discontinued it because I apparently lived near the only Taco Bell in the world that I could custom order one at still. Because up until I moved, I would just pull in and be like, yeah, let me get two of them enchiladas. And they'd be like, okay, cool, blah, 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 pull around. And when I moved, I went to the Taco Bell by the new house, and I told them that, and they're like, you want a what? An enchilada. And I'm like, no, an enchilada. I don't know what that is. Can I get someone who's like older than like 12, please? And like no one there knew what it was. That's when I realized. Oh.
I missed the chili cheese burrito.
See?
Oh, that was good.
It was good. It was so good.
Now that will embed some porcelain in the walls around your toilet.
Yes, it will.
You take down a dirty 30 of Milwaukee's Beast and throw about 4 chili cheese burritos on top of that bitch.
It's all over.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh, yeah. Good.
When whatever unholy creature from the book of Revelation crawls out of your ass into the toilet, oh God. There'll be much weeping and gnashing of teeth. It is, oof. They were good, though.
You'll say
That's
every
another thing,
holy
though.
prayer you've ever heard.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the fucked up part. Okay, White Castle smell the same coming out as they do going in. Taco Bell chili cheese burritos, if you opened them up, they look the same going in as they did when you wiped your ass.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
You are not wrong.
So, I mean, like, is this why your generation has turned to eating ass because they can't get these delectable treats at Taco Bell anymore? So they just figured, fuck it, let's go to the source, and just started tongue fucking balloon knots. I mean,
Times are hard, okay? You gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, meat ain't been on the menu for a minute for me, and it's like, have you played tennis today? All right, come on, let's go. Let's get in the shower. Come on. You know, so like so, but
Well,
I'm just trying
Did
to.
y'all know?
What's really fucked up is you can order them both and have them delivered to you, as Chris said. Oh, I'll call back.
Through your phone.
Internet, baby.
Did we know what?
Did y'all know that the fried apple pies from McDonald's were discontinued?
No.
They have been discontinued. Yes.
They should be arrested for felonies.
Why? When's the last time you had one?
It's not about being able to have one. It's
Hold
about
on.
knowing that it's there. What?
I can answer this question.
Me too.
Fuck yeah, you got 2 fat people on this fucking podcast. cocksucker. So you about to get split roasted by fat guy Dick. Don't worry.
Question wasn't
We can't
directed
go
at
very
you.
long.
Wasn't directed at
No,
you.
because- No, it was an open question. When's the last time you had one? And I said apple, and then you started you and him started waving dicks in each other's faces. I didn't realize this. I asked for an apple a couple months ago, and they said they had strawberry and cream. And I was like, oh, you don't have apple? They're like, no, not right now. I just thought they meant they were sold out. Are you sure it's not like a seasonal thing? Like they change?
I'm seeing that it's the fried apple pie.
Huh. Okay. All right. And yeah, before that, no one eats those apple pies. It's like the cookies from McDonald's. Who the fuck orders the cookies from McDonald's that's not 5 or younger? Seriously.
McDonald's has cookies.
See? Yes.
I didn't know.
Furthermore, who eats the cookies from fucking Subway? He's talking about eating healthy and shit.
Oh, those white
I've
chocolate
had 'em.
macadamias.
Them shits are
Here we
good,
go.
bro.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, how much for a dozen of those? So you want 12 cookies? Yes. Did I stutter? Do you speak English? Yeah. Did you understand what the words coming out of my mouth?
$97.
We had cookies we sold at one of the pizza places I worked at, and a case of 200 of these cookies. You could order for $22. And one of the guys that I work with did. And he was selling them in the hood, out the trunk of his car. There is a market for anything. Trust me. Somebody's eating it. Trust me. So it's yeah.
Subway uses Otis Spunkmeyer cookies. That's why they're so damn good.
Yeah, I'm not like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not, my grandmother just made cookies, so I'm not like brand like loyal. I think like I had one grandmother who like famous, I always called it Famous Anus, but it's Famous Amos, and like she ate those cookies. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Otis Spunkmeyer. That sounds like some ritzy, like I'm wearing my Uggs basic white bitch shit. Like cookies. Is it?
Sounds like a fucking porno actor.
They sold them at my high school, so it might just be like a nostalgia cookie for me.
Okay.
They sold them in the morning before you went to class because that's what kids need in the morning.
All right, that's it. That's what I want to come back. That's what I want to go public.
What?
Y'all
High
remember
school?
that? Yeah. Y'all remember the pizza, the square ones?
Yes.
The rectangle ones, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Ugh.
That's garbage pizza.
Shut up.
That is the
it
world's
was so good.
worst.
For real.
It's
You know, okay.
you're talking to two guys who've worked at pizza for a lot. That is the worst pizza ever.
That's like
not.
it is.
No.
It is maybe one. It's a half a step above like a Totino's microwave pizza.
Okay, let's
really
stop
is.
calling
Really
let's stop
is.
calling it pizza then, because it's a stretch to call it pizza. It's just that rectangle meal that you got in high school.
That ain't
you were
sauce on
so
there.
excited.
It ain't sauce. That's tomato paste for starters. They don't use shredded cheese. They use the fucking slices of mozzarella. No, that pizza is garbage pizza.
But I'll say this. Okay, it did have a very distinctive taste. And if you got used to it, you could develop a taste for it, because I did develop a taste for it. I shudder to think if I ate it now, what I would fucking, my opinion would be of it now.
Like you,
because
you feed this to children? Yeah, like.
Okay, so for me, the thing I loved the most was tots in high school and in like junior high at lunch, and they would come in like a little plastic square container with or not plastic, but a cardboard square container with the plastic you peel back. And they were steamed, I'm guessing. That's how they were warmed. But I mean, like, they were great. I loved them. Fast forward a couple decades, I'm delivering to a middle school. They're having those exact same tots. I mentioned something about them. They give me a thing. I open it up. I take like a bite of one, because out of politeness, swallow it. And I'm like, thanks. And then like threw it the fuck away the minute I got around the corner. I was like, that is horrible. How the fuck did I think that was good? That is soggy shit. I mean, there was nothing. It was just like wet newspaper in your mouth. Like, I have no other way to describe it. I'm like, how the fuck did I think that was good? So
maybe
I'm
you
just
got
saying,
a bad batch. I'm gonna live in that reality that it was just a bad batch of them, and that pizza, that rectangle pizza, is
that's
still
your truth.
That is my truth, and you cannot take that from me. There was. In my high school, we always had, I'm sure y'all had it, just like the standard disgusting chicken sandwich that was the really cheap breaded patty that was like nugget made. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so just like, I know that as like the high school chicken sandwich, but it was either my junior or senior year, they came out with this new chicken sandwich. And they called it the Clucks Deluxe. And this was the all white meat chicken sandwich, right? And it was breaded and in a little foil steamer bag, whereas the other chicken sandwich, was wrapped in cellophane, not kept out on the counter all day.
So they're like,
if you ate it, you were
real chicken. You can buy this sandwich.
Yeah.
How do I know it's real white meat? It claps on 1 and 3.
But when you would go through line, you would
what if it's jazz?
You'd say,
Sorry.
I don't know, you'd say, like, I want a chicken sandwich. And it's these, southern crotchety lunch ladies that have zero shame And they didn't know what to call the other chicken one. They're like, well, you want the Clucks Deluxe or the cheap chicken? And if you didn't bring your money with you that day, you're like, I'd like the cheap chicken, please.
Hi, sweetheart. Now look here, sugar. Now, do you want the good chicken sandwich, or do you want that Jim Crow chicken sandwich that we're going to make sit the back of the bus?
Yes.
Oh, that's some good racism. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm telling you though, it put a fear of going back and revisiting things I used to think were awesome when I was younger. Makes me think that I'm not missing out when it comes to pussy with any of my exes.
Well, you already
nothing.
Well, that's
really?
a very positive spin on that.
Well, yeah, you've already been there.
Like, boy, it was really good. Let me go back.
You already know what it feels like. I mean, you got what you wanted.
Trash. Yeah. Why was I pining away about this?
Right. I thought this was good pussy.
I mean, yeah. That like the first two relationships I had. That pretty much like, yeah. I feel.
Come on, let's be honest. It's like drinking a beer, right? Even if it's bad, you're still drinking a beer.
No, it's like being young and drinking cheap booze because you haven't had good booze yet. You don't understand the difference, and you wouldn't appreciate the difference even if someone sat down and explained to you the difference because you're just excited that you're doing something that you're probably not supposed to be doing.
That's a fair assessment.
I'm just saying, man. Like I wasn't like, so how is the sex on a scale of 1 to 10? I was just like, I'm having sex.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
I please let me not say anything to fuck this up.
Yeah. I'm inside you. Let's keep this going.
So, yeah. Rose-colored glasses looking back. Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple in the team photo that would probably not be worth a retap. So, yeah. And I'm sure they feel the same way about me. And I'm like, good, then we can continue ignoring each other.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry, am I ripping off a just healed over scab?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right. Just making sure. All right, well.
Is that it? We hit everything?
Gentlemen, ma'am, anything else?
It's your gender terms. Get the fuck out of here.
I was going to say gentlemen and Earl, anything else? But then I was like, Jess would be like, so I'm a guy now? Yeah, see, I'd have had them both. I'd have had her been like, what the fuck, I'm a guy. And he'd been like, what the fuck I do? So, yeah.
Well, we're equal opportunity offenders. That's what we do here. So follow us on social media. Like us on Facebook and on Twitter at Gen Exhausted Pod, even though we just talk mad amounts of shit about Twitter. But you can follow us there. Go to ChristopherMedia.net, hit the Amazon banner, hit the PayPal button if you would like to help us out. And wherever you listen to us, rate us and review us. Apple just changed our algorithm yet again, but I was looking at the stats, and apparently it's in our favor. So, good. So, wherever you're listening to us, rate us, review us, tell people how to find us if you like the show. Please and thank you. And we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
See ya.
I am a dominant gene. Live as I die. Never say forever, cause forever's a lie. I can see right through you, so I can't ignore you. The story changes, but the ending won't bore you. I'm trying to tell you, but just simply obey. They didn't listen, so they threw you away. Now all you do is talk. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Is this what you want? This is where it begins. 2150. Yay!
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.